Hey everybody, Mike from mikesbrewreview.com here. Today I am outside because today we finally hit about 45 degrees. It's finally spring and we're loving it here, and 45 degrees is great for us. I have to apologize for the noise. I live on kind of a busy street back here and we're kind of fighting a flood right now. I was out sandbagging last night and they've got trucks just going back and forth, bringing sand and clay and dirt, downtown to kind of ring around the city, a big mud dike. So whatever, it's kind of becoming the norm here. So anyway, today is a special day. I know I seem to say that like every single time, but it must be because I really like getting in front of the camera and talking to you guys about beer. Today we are going to talk about a homebrew. My favorite one I've brewed thus far. It is a bourbon barrel porter from Northern Brewer. It's an extract kit. Fairly easy to do. Kind of an intermediate level one with some extra additions later on in the fermentation process. I apologize for keep looking back and forth, but I got cars coming by and people honking and yelling or whatever. But just kind of wanted to show you this. I know a lot of craft beer drinkers eventually make their way to really starting to enjoy homebrewing and starting to have an interest in homebrew. It's kind of what happened to me, and I kind of want to just kind of show it to you guys and see if it's something you want to do. So we're just going to kind of pop the top off here and take a look. Like I said, it's a bourbon barrel porter. I actually added in some bourbon and some oak chips to kind of simulate the bourbon cask aging that would normally happen in the process. Just gonna grab my glass here. So we'll just kind of pour it in, and I like to give this one a little bit of a vigorous pour. I haven't perfected head attenuation, so just to get a little bit of head out of there. As you can see, it's pretty dark. It's actually quite a bit darker than a porter would normally be, but fear not, it tastes delicious. The initial smell is very sweet, a little chocolatey, not much for hops. You get a little bit of the bourbon, but not a lot. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't like whiskey, I don't like bourbon, the addition to this actually isn't that bad. If I was to do it again, I would actually add more. Chances are I am going to do it again. This might be a recipe that I try to perfect and have in my repertoire all the time. So let's see. Like I said, the head just doesn't stick around. It's something I'm still working on. It's a little bit thicker, to be expected. I believe the original gravity on this is about 1065. For those of you that aren't, home brewers, that kind of just is the determination of how much sugars are, and fructose and maltose and all of the different sugars are within the beer before the yeast goes after it and starts making the alcohol. So it's a little bit on the higher side. So it's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit sweeter. I'm going to take another taste. God, I love this one. So it's got a little coffee to counteract the sweetness. I can taste the vanilla that comes out of the American oak chips that I use, but it's not really apparent. I think for somebody who's looking for like a really good breakfast beer, or something that's kind of like, it's almost like a cold cup of like cappuccino, or a cold cup of like a cold cocoa. So it's the bourbon doesn't burn. It's very subtle. The vanilla is subtle, and the oak is not. It's very, very subtle. I think I do tend to like the little bit more earthy. Excuse me, the earthy and the whiskey that would come from this recipe, which is what I was attracted to. But I think if I do it again, instead of using 16 ounces of bourbon, I'm probably going to use the full 7.5, and I'll probably do 2 additions of oak chips, just because the vanilla would come out more and there would be that woody taste. So I can't taste. I mean, the hops they're there. Here's the big one. The hops are there, but they're really not apparent. They're cut by the sweetness. It's a lot sweeter than you would think it would be for a beer like this. I've given it to a couple people who aren't really dark beer drinkers. They're looking at this and it's kind of intimidating. I mean, it is black. I mean, you hold it up to the light and it is black. But it's definitely not a stout. It's not an imperial stout. It's not going to burn. It's actually a lot sweeter than you would think it would be. So for this kit, I totally give this kit, a thumbs up. It was pretty easy. If you've done a couple batches, you'll easily be able to do this one. It actually spent 2 weeks in the primary, a couple weeks in the secondary. I then added the oak chips and the bourbon that I'd been soaking for about a week. Let it sit for another 3 weeks, and then it sat in the bottle. I think this is the 4th week, something like that. It takes a while, but oh damn, it's good to try a beer that you made yourself and have it taste this delicious. So anyway, I don't want to waste anybody's time, so everybody, I want to thank you for commenting on the forums or commenting on my my blog, and interacting on Twitter and all that stuff. It's been a great experience. Keep them coming. I love it. And if you're interested in getting into homebrewing, let me know. I can help you find the right stuff to get you off to a great start. There's nothing worse than spending the money and getting started and having your first batch just suck. So I can help you get that first batch right off and get your beer in your hand in like 4 weeks, and it'll be all good. So anyway, I'm gonna just kind of drink this one. Oh, it's so good. Just kind of just hangs out there. So thanks again, Mike from mikesbrewreview.com. Cheers. Happy St. Patty's Day.